Tune in and watch Lori and Amelia as they talk health and wellness, keep you in the know, highlight do-gooders in promo, and spill the tea in Never Have I Ever. And now it's time for the rundown.
Hi, Lori.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. I wish I knew it was hat day. I would have done that and not even made an attempt for this.
I get my hair done tomorrow. So it's a hat day today.
You know what? I love it. I am a hat girl 100. So welcome to episode 133 of The Rundown. I am hatless Amelia Madl from Promo Corner, and our hat girl with her cheeky little glasses is Miss Lori Bolton from the Magnet Group.
Hi.
Hey. And it is summertime, and so you're teaching classes, so I assume you're hot and overheated, and we love the summer. I love the summer. I got a tan this weekend planting flowers. That's how it was 85, and I was just on my deck putting flowers in pots, had a little razorback on, and was like, dang.
It's hot.
It is hot, and now it's 60. I can't keep track. But speaking of summertime and fun in the sun, our sponsor is none other than our friends over at Towel Specialties. They are your go-to supplier for towels, blankets, and all things soft and snug since 1985, which is the year Lori was born, if you keep track, because she keeps anti-aging. They were named ASI Counselor Magazine Supplier of the Year and voted Best Towel and Robe Supplier 17 years in a row by ASI distributors. Most of their management, sales, and customer service team have been with them for over 15 years. They don't just sell towels, they live them. And I live them because I'm friends with Sean, and if you walk my house, I have more Towel Specialty samples than he does in his house. I don't know what that says about both of us, but they were the pioneering tone-on-tone decorating to sublimation on beach towels. They led the charge in innovation. If you need it fast, their production times are some of the quickest in the industry. And here's the warmest part. With every sale, they give back, donating a portion to meaningful charities and organizations in need. Towel Specialties, 40 years of comfort, quality, and care you can feel. To find out more, check them out at towelspecialties.com. I love that they give back.
I do too. I saw Sean this past week. It was great to see him.
Oh, I love him. I love both the Connects, him and Tiff. They're great.
Yes.
And I do love their blankets and towels. My whole house might as well just be a showroom for them because I get samples all the time. My kids, every car has a blanket in it. Like,
it's so good.
We are good. Yeah. Love it. Love it. Love it. So, girl, what have you been doing besides teaching?
Teaching so much on the weekends. And I did an advanced chair. There's a Wanda chair. I don't know if you've seen it in the Pilates studio, but it's an apparatus. So I did some advanced training on that. On Friday, I took half the day off. So I've been busy. And Saturday, we went 3 places on Saturday. It was a Mark and Lori day. So we went to Casa Grande Ruins. It's Native American, but it's protected. It's out by Tucson, so almost like a 2-hour drive from us. And I'm pulling this up for you. So anyhow, it's Native American. It was considered like a mansion, but when you look at it, you're like, how would this be considered a mansion? But back in the day, it was considered a mansion. So you get to walk around and see all of that. From there,
is it like a pueblo? Like, was it built like a pueblo? Like
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, it's fascinating. And then on Saturday, we kind of made our way. Have you ever heard of Biosphere 2? No?
I don't think
it's been around for a while. It's had a couple different owners, big property. Now the University of Arizona owns it, but Biosphere 2 is the world's largest controlled environment dedicated to understanding the implication, mitigation, and adaptation solutions for resilience of our planet. Biosphere 1, due to the global climate crisis, Biosphere 2 is a mesoscale earth science facility encompassing 3.14 acres and houses 5 synthetic ecosystems encased in a glass and metal space frame. Operational for 30 years and counting, these mesoscale ecosystems include the world's largest controlled systems of a tropical rainforest, desert, savanna, mangrove, and ocean.
Okay, that's awesome. And while you were explaining it, when I was putting the words together, I have heard of the biosphere, but it's because of a movie I watched in the 90s with, do you remember Pauly Shore?
Yes.
Do you remember what the name of that movie was?
No. There's also The Martian that I want to say it was Matt Damon, where he was able to grow potatoes on Mars. And he had, so it's similar to that whole philosophy, the way I understand it. It's a trip. There were 8, I think, at the time. This is in 1987, where they existed in this biosphere for 2 years, 8 people. And it was a completely, like walking in, it was like you were walking into a spaceship and it's sealed. Like you had to walk in, they sealed you and then walked in. And at the very end, there's all sorts of conversation about it because they ended up allowing oxygen in. They broke the seal. And so then the media got a hold of that and were questioning all of their research and how true was it. But you can imagine being 2 years with 8 people in a controlled environment. You can't leave the environment. That there were social issues, there was, all sorts of issues. And you were growing your own food, you were growing your own coffee beans, and sometimes you may only get a cup of coffee a week. It is crazy. It's no longer a controlled environment in the sense of there's not anybody living in it. You can actually tour where they used to be. And those 5 different ecospheres that I mentioned, like the ocean, the rainforest, the savanna, those exist. We walked through it. We got to tour that on Saturday. It is crazy to think that this, however many years ago, somebody thought of this is just a trip.
That is crazy. The movie that I was talking about with Pauly Shore was made in 1996. So that was a year before I graduated high school. And it was called Biodome, where he got trapped in there somehow. I can't remember if he was frozen, if he was a caveman. I don't know if that's the same storyline. God, I love Pauly Shore.
Right? There's domes. There's they showed their apartments that they lived in. They had a lower apartment and then stairs to go up to their sleeping area. Mm-hmm. I would never make it. I mean, I would get major anxiety if the second that door shut, meaning even though you had space. So let's just call it 3 it's not even 3 acres, the biosphere part of it. They took turns cooking. So when they cooked, they would start at dinner and then cook breakfast and lunch. So their shift would start at dinner and then they would fix breakfast, lunch, and they'd have to cook what was they were growing.
Accessible. Huh.
Just
very cool.
So we did that. And then our Phoenix Rising soccer team, we got to watch them. They played the #1 team. It was Sacramento, and they tied 1-1. Worst reffing I've ever seen probably on any game ever. Ever. One of my favorite players.
Did you yell?
Yes.
Were you yelling at the ref? Were you calling him names and telling him to, here, do you need my glasses? Were you doing that? Because
I wasn't. The fans are brutal. They're like, Jorge, your mom's watching. Is one of the refs, the sideline refs. His name's Jorge, but it was bad. One of our players got red carded because a kick to the face, and it was all on accident. But it was lots of yellow cards being thrown out. It's like, let's just let them play. They're all fakers. They're doing really a great job of faking both sides, right? So, but I was happy we tied.
Yeah.
So that was my Saturday.
Well, that's fun. I did not do a lot. I went to my couple of flower shops, got some stuff to try to plant some more pots that I had. I can probably always plant flowers. I feel like I can always find more space out here, but did that. And then by the time this drops, my baby girl, favorite daughter, will be moved home. She moves home on Friday. What's Friday? 16th? Actually, she moves home Thursday. Regardless, she'll be home this week. I'm gone all week at NALC. By the time I get back, she will be here, and I will walk into probably a disaster. So then my anxiety will be going off because I'll be like, oh my God, please put this stuff away. I don't want all your clothes all over the house in different rooms. But
I cannot believe year one is over. Like I feel like you just got her into the dorm. I remember it like it was yesterday, and it probably feels like that for you too. I feel like the school years, and this is just probably because I'm getting older and I don't have any kids in the space anymore, that it just keeps getting shorter, shorter, shorter.
Yeah, our regular school gets out, I think, the 20th, which is early, but we start early. So we start like the beginning of August and we get out early in May. But yeah, it'll be nice to have both kids home, but Maddox got a full-time job this summer, so he's going to be gone a lot of times. Addie got an internship, and then she's also, people might hear her because she's going to help part-time help me because she wants to go into sales and marketing. So I'm going to give her some training. So if you're a client, just know you might get a phone call from another model, and be nice.
Training. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. What's the best way to find out if you like a job? Test it out for a few months, right?
Absolutely. And I don't think we had that luxury growing up.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
So I think it's great.
She's experiencing two different things. And I'm like, it's great. You make money, you get to meet people, make connections, learn about different environments. So, okay. What are we living with, Lori?
Living with Lori. And really quickly, Amelia, I do want to make a correction from last episode with the hypochlorous acid. It's HOCl, hypochlorous acid. I think I said hypochloric. Anyhow, it's hypochlorics. I was corrected by Mr. Mark.
All I heard is HOTTOGO.
So that was my correction from last episode on the Riley sprays, the active and the kids. So this week, this episode, Living with Lori, simple brain support snack. I feel like in the afternoons, I get laggy. I don't want to have a cup of coffee. I don't want to have caffeine. I really just need to fuel my body and get refocused. So a small handful of raw walnuts, sliced apple or pear, drizzle of almond butter, yum, and a pinch of cinnamon. So yummy. So here's why each ingredient is in this little brain support snack. So raw walnuts are the highest plant source of ALA, omega-3s, which reduce neuroinflammation and support cognitive function. Sliced apple or pear adds fiber that feeds our gut bacteria linked to serotonin production. Almond butter provides vitamin E and healthy fat, which protect brain cell membranes from oxidative damage. And then cinnamon helps stabilize blood sugar, preventing the energy crash that tanks focus and mood. Isn't that fascinating? People think like cinnamon, but cinnamon's such an important spice, if you will. The brain is a metabolic organ. It needs steady fuel, not a spike and a crash. So this particular snack is designed exactly for that, to fuel your brain, keep it steady and healthy. And that's super easy. You can keep all of this. I often hear when I talk to people like, oh, I don't have the ingredients. It's too hard.
Like it's free.
Cinnamon stays in the cupboard. Yeah. Almond butter stays in the cupboard. Raw walnuts stay in a glass jar. It would be your pear, your apple that you do on your weekly shop. So super easy, healthy snack.
Love it. You know, I hate walnuts. They just have a taste that I can't support. Can't get behind it. But I do love me an apple. But I use peanut butter. I should probably get some almond butter. And I use all natural peanut butter.
That's fine. So, you're still getting some protein from that, so I'm good with that.
And another thing that's really good that you can do with apples, you slice them like you were going to eat them, leave the peel on, and then just put a tiny bit of butter in a pan and warm them up so they're like, it's like an apple pie texture, and then you sprinkle cinnamon on them and you can eat those. And that is really good if you're looking for like a yummy snack that's, you know, not just a basic raw apple with peanut butter. You can do that, and that's really good. And you kind of trick yourself into thinking you're eating a dessert because they're like sauteed apples.
Yeah, that sounds like a good dessert. a really good dessert. You could swap out your walnuts for raw almonds or cashews.
I do like my almonds. I like my almonds.
And raw. We talked about this in previous
I
episodes.
know.
Not smoked, not salted, not roasted. Like it needs to be raw with nothing on it is really your best option.
We keep like 5 bags of almonds because my husband likes them salty, and then he likes the wasabi ones. So like I keep mine separate, and then his are all mixed together. Yeah,
Love it.
We try. All right, Lori, we talked about there's some movement, not as much this time from our last recording, but still enough. So I'm gonna let you take one.
Okay. So Larissa Graham just joined Lauren Esser out of Colorado with her company called Smith Pro. So welcome, Larissa, to this amazing industry. I love Lauren. She's amazing. So she's new. She's new to the industry, and she tagged Common SKU. Lauren said she's using Common SKU doing presentations. So good.
Yay! Well, if you see her out, people, welcome her to the industry. Well, I have a couple of big things. The first big one affects me the most. So it's a love-hate situation right now. Just kidding. Miss Hallie Moore, who I have worked with, I think she's through some capacity, she's been here almost as long as me, like in a part-time status when she was in school. 6 years. Okay, I'm hitting 8 this summer. So Hallie Moore, who we all love and know, has decided to step away from the promo corner side of things. But don't worry, she's not leaving. She's not going far. She's just moving the next town over to work and join the family business over at Bay State in Americana. So she will be the director of marketing. So instead of working with her mom every day, she will now work with her dad and her uncle and her cousin every day. So amazing. Keeping it in the family, going through the succession. Michael Moore, who has been the president of Bay State and Americana, is slowing down to an advisory role. And then with that as well, Eric Cardoza, who's been with them for 7-8 years, I believe, has moved into the president role at Bay State. So big changes over there. They won't know what hit them once everybody gets moved around and things are started. And
so proud of her. And isn't she, Amelia, she just got something, isn't like the youngest, like she's in
this. She was a rising star.
Rising star. Thank you. I couldn't think of it.
Rising star. And then she got a couple other awards and accolades over the years through like NEPA and SAGNY. She just joined the NEPA board. She helped plan the Promotions East a few years ago, doing the marketing and content and stuff. So yeah, she's heavy in PK. She just hit the ground rolling. As soon as she got into full-time status and graduated college, she just went.
It's been fun to watch her grow and blossom and come into her own. It's been just amazing.
Yeah. So congrats, Hallie. No.
Congrats.
I was like, I don't want you to leave, but don't worry. Google Chat still works the same. I will still bug you and ask you questions. Right. When I go see the Moores, she lives not too far from her parents, so I will still see Hallie. It will still be the extended family.
I love it.
Who else you got?
Right. I got a big one for you. Paige Millard, who's been in the industry just as long as I have, 27 plus years. He was most recently with Logomark for the last 4 or 5 years. He went back to Primeline. He's back at Primeline. Super excited for him. He will be their West Coast regional rep. So super excited. Congratulations, Paige. We connected last week and he filled me in, but super, super happy. He sounds great and excited to take on this new role. So excited.
Yeah, he's super nice guy. And if you don't know Paige, you can't miss him in a crowd. There's only 2 like 7 foot tall people, big Mike and Paige. So ask them who they are. You'll find him.
Yes.
In other news, Hoffman and Pro Innovative, which Pro Innovative is actually down in Arizona, I believe in Phoenix, and I think Hoffman must be too. They integrated their operations, so they are working together now. In safety news, Thermos. Do Do you have thermos products at home? I know I have
Yes.
thermos products. So they are recalling over 8 million of their vacuum sealed containers. They're like the food
Wow.
containers because the lid, somehow one of them didn't get made properly. So there's not that, it's a lack of pressure relief in the feature. So it was
8
creating a potential
million
hazard.
units.
8 million.
So have they said what the solution is? Are they replacing the
So
entire
you
thing?
can send the lid in and they'll send you
Okay.
the correct lid. So you can do that. And then one of the things that it affected more specifically in our industry was Common SKU put out a press release that it had been a couple years, but they had given out that product at one of their SKUCon events. And the products were provided by Snugs. So they gave instructions on how to get that. But I mean, 8 million, there's a lot of people that have that. And, you know, school lunches, construction workers, a lot of people use those to.
Yeah. That's
how are you going to keep your SpaghettiOs warm all day until you eat without those?
Right. That's an iconic brand. I mean, that goes back to my grandparents with an old thermos with a handle that my granny and gramps would take when we would go, and we would, hot cocoa in that when we were littles. Amazing.
Yep. Every camping trip, every old farmer, everyone's got one of those bad boys full of coffee to keep it warm throughout the day.
Oh my gosh.
Lori, you have been slaying. You've been out and about, and you have a do-gooder for us.
I do. I have been out and slaying. I've been all over. I'm home at least for 5-6 days, which I'm super happy about. So Premier Group, we just wrapped Premier Group. That happened in the Phoenician here in Scottsdale, Arizona. So even though I was at a hotel, I was in my home state. It didn't require me to get on a plane. And Dana Geiger, who's the managing director of Premier Group, she always does a phenomenal job executing these events. And we always have a give back, a philanthropic piece to the events. So this year it was St. Mary's Food Bank. And St. Mary, I've volunteered here before, but this is the organization they selected. They feed over 250,000 people a day.
Wow.
A day. Over 250,000 people a day are fed, and it represents about 76,000 square miles through Arizona that they cover. So a huge footprint in terms of where they're providing food. So the way this worked, I believe there were 13 teams of us, anywhere from 8 to 10 people on a team. Mm-hmm. Each team got $200 in gift cards. At 2:00, you needed to go and find a grocery store. And so you needed to Uber. People didn't have cars, right? So you needed to Uber, $200, spend $200. The person, so it was like a race. Who could get the most food with the $200? Who could get there and back the quickest? What was it? The fastest, the most food for the money, like spending the most money, like not having any left or going over. So it was like one of those amazing races, if you will.
Yes.
So we did not win. My team, which I have a picture of our team, Jacob Dopsch was there with the chest. It was such a great group. We got our cashier in there. We wiped them out with macaroni and cheese. We got 10 boxes for $10, so $1 a box. Soups. They gave us a list of food that they needed.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you, so I'm curious what you think on this. So one of the teams decided to DoorDash their food to the hotel. So,
but could they get as much? Because I feel like it costs more if you DoorDash. There's like more fees.
Right. And then somebody said, well, the footprint's less. We didn't have to pay for Uber or Lyft. And that didn't come out of our $200. But I'm like, the experience.
It's not really less. Somebody was driving. It's just not them.
Right.
Yeah. They're still going to a specific store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was super fun.
That was filming it in. Cheaters, ban them.
Just in this little event, though, we provided food for, I want to say it was over 15,000 people just for this little exercise that we did. And it felt good, of course. We had a representative from St. Mary's come and speak to us. And I've packed boxes actually in the warehouse before, but this was fun because it was fun to see the guys actually took it very seriously of getting out their calculators. I'm like, either you don't shop or you do shop, it was like either one of, because I'm not using a calculator when I go to the store. It's like I get to the cash register, it's like, oh, it's $186.
Yeah,
And
it's always a shock. Me and my daughter play the game at the end, and I'm like, "How much do you think it is?" And I'm usually within like $10, and she'll be like, "Have sticker shock," and I'm like, "Girl, everything is expensive.
Everything's
That's
expensive."
just
So we
don't
felt
go to the grocery
everybody
store
brought their
without-
stuff back, and it got over to St. Mary's, and again, a good feeling, and just the amount of people that are touched by St. Mary's on a daily basis is impressive. So
that's a lot. If for me to put in perspective, like the town I live in is like 4,000 people. The next town over, the next county seat is like 11,000, and then the biggest town next to us, which is Lawrence, Kansas, home of KU basketball, I think they're probably like, I'm gonna guess like 150,000. So you take 3 county seats together, and it's still not as many. All the population of those 3 towns don't even combine to what
the
units
250
that they feed in a day.
a day. So a lot of they have like 700 partners of people that help, corporations that help donate. But it, again, their impact is tremendous in the state of Arizona for sure.
Yeah. Wow. Kudos. Good job, Dana, for putting that together. And that sounds fun. It's not just, sometimes you go and volunteer and you're like, yeah, we're showing up, we're doing it. But she made it a fun activity where y'all probably get a little competitive. I know I would, but running out there.
I had my lift registered. I had it reserved for 1:45, so we left early. If anybody was late, they weren't coming. We missed, like, one person wasn't there on time, so we were out. So I had the lift at 1:45. I'm like, we're gonna win because we're leaving 15 minutes before everybody else is.
Did you take the shopping cart and you go to the rack and you're just like, I forget what there used to be a shopping game, but it was like spending the most. So of course multiple people would go through a grocery store with their cart, and whoever spent the most. So it was a little bit different, but of course, meat, always go to meat if you want to like break the bank, because or toilet paper these days, paper towels, like laundry soap, all the crazy stuff. Okay, Lori, I know you've been traveling all over. Have you been able to watch anything new or read anything new?
I finished The Love Story, and that was very, 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 very sad.
Well, girl, that's taken you like 2 months.
I know it has taken me, but I did finish it. I forget what day I finished it because I haven't been home, but I finished it, and now I need to get into something else. It was
I started watching something. I mean, this is a slow watch, so I have shows where I like can't stop and I'll stay up late, and then I have series that I will watch like while I'm on the treadmill or if I'm sitting in the sauna, like something to just pass time. But I kind of got sucked into it. So it's on Netflix, and it's called Mr. McMahon. Do you know who Mr. McMahon is?
Yes.
Vince McMahon. So this is like a docuseries where they're interviewing Vince McMahon, who was the guy that was running WWE. He didn't know his bio dad till he was 12, never met him before. All of a sudden, he didn't even know his last name was McMahon. His real dad showed up in his life at 12. He went with his dad and started like being around the business. And then he bought it from his dad when his dad retired. And so he had this vision and changed it all. But it goes into, it interviews tons of wrestlers, the ones most people would be familiar with, Hulk Hogan, of course.
Yes.
The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin. There was a bunch of other names, but those are the ones that most people know. So yeah, it's just a story about how he took over the wrestling in the 80s and transformed it into what it is today. But when they were interviewing him, the interviews happened prior to his latest scandal with misconduct and sexual assault and all the things that he had to step away from the business. So you hear stories of things that happened in the past, but he has always kind of gotten out of them. But these interviews all happened before the latest, where he had to be removed from the company.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Think about a man's world in the 80s, and then any of the women that worked in that environment and how they were treated, and just the way they worked. These wrestlers, they worked 7 days a week. Their contracts were like, they had no days off. They had no rights. If they got injured, they didn't get paid. Like, That's why they're all broken now.
They're all broken. They are.
I watched a special on Hulk Hogan, just on him. And he had, I don't know, 30 some surgeries probably between his neck and his back from all the injuries from wrestling.
Crazy.
Like, yeah. You think it's fake, but it's a storyline fake, but they're really still hurting their
They're
body,
injured,
destroying themselves. And
how can you, even though
had no right back then to do anything, nobody taking care of them like they do athletes now.
Yeah.
So,
it's brutal. I mean, it's hard, I think.
Yeah, I don't want to be body slammed.
No.
People are like, these guys, these girls are cute. I really got into, I've never watched wrestling, but I got into the behind of WWE when the Bella twins.
Yes,
the reality show. And then I got into the girls aspect and seeing what was happening and watching that. And yeah.
It's crazy.
So, it's been out for a while. It came out in 2024 and I'm just now finding it on Netflix. But it's my slow watch. So, and I'm working out or doing something and I just want to not be like, I don't need to like watch the storyline completely, but very informative.
Crazy.
Lori, never have I ever. I wrote one down. Do you have one?
No, I did.
No, we really don't prep this. We're just like, make something up. Nothing to do with anything we've talked about, but I just found one in the list of things. So, never have I ever worked retail.
Oh, I have.
Beyond Nike?
Yes, I was a manager at Nordstrom before Nike, in the men's department, and I loved it. I missed weddings, I missed holidays because it was retail, right?
Yeah.
But I loved it. I opened up the Arcadia Santa Anita store in California. That ties us back to the horse racing because that's where I grew up. But I opened that store, and I want to say it was Eddie Van Halen who was a frequent shopper there. And he'd come in and he'd say, I need a new outfit. Like, here's my card. I knew his size. I had it all written down. I love retail. I do. I love the whole merchandising aspect of it. I felt it was easier to work with men than women. Yes. I did. I know. I don't think I'm hard to like a hard shopper, but men are fairly easy. They know if you say, oh my gosh, this looks good on you, they're like, okay, great. I'll take 2 of those pair of jeans. I'll take 3 of those shirts. I'm like, done. I just had $1,000 sale.
Yeah. They don't want to try it on. Same. I worked at Dillard's as a part-time job in my I don't even know if I would have been like 18, 19, 20. It was like my evening job after my day job. But yeah, I worked in the men's department. So it was like selling Perry Ellis, finding the ties, getting the slacks for the guys. And again, they were super easy because again, they were just like, I need a shirt for work, or my wife said I need a shirt for blah, blah, blah. And once you measured their neck and their arms, you were golden. And they would be like, right? Love that shirt. Take 5 colors. Yeah.
And then
I want to do it now in a department store, but
I wouldn't. I also had my own boutique in Ojai for 5 years, maybe 3 years, something like that. Okay. That was like, I was in this industry, 2005, I opened it. So it's been a while, but it was a combination of yoga and then like rock and roll. So I had I carried 8 different brands of jeans, candles. It was a groovy store. And we did fairly well. Yeah, I loved it.
Fun.
Yes.
That's always fun. Okay, there you go. We worked retail.
I think everybody should work retail, and I think everybody should work in a restaurant capacity, like waiting tables. I think that those 2 industries, because you're dealing directly with consumer,
it gives you great people skills, customer service skills.
Yes.
You know, how to turn it on, how to act around people, how to, I did both, like them both. Absolutely.
So good. I would always said I would go back to waiting tables. I loved it.
I don't think I could One, I don't have the memory. I know they use apps a lot now, but we went out to dinner the other night and there were 4 of us and we told the guy our drink order and food and he was like, okay. And he walked away and we're all like, he didn't write anything down. How? I was like, I already forgot what I ordered. How is he going to remember 4 of our orders? Like, I don't have the brain capacity, and waitressing is a hard job.
It is hard. It is hard. No, they don't write anything down now. I would need a piece of paper and they'd say, okay, Lori, you only have 2 more weeks and then you got to put your piece of paper away.
It's all app now. They have it's called Toast,
Yeah.
I think, in restaurants, and you just, and then it goes straight to the kitchen so that
It's
there's
just
not like, not the old days when you wrote it on a cafeteria slip and you put it on the little turntable and
Whoop.
We're dating ourselves now.
I know we are. I love it.
All right. Well, we have been chit-chatting long enough, so thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to our sponsor over at Towel Specialties. Go tell Mr. Knack the ladies from the Rundown sent you. And check them out at towelspecialties.com to learn more and get ready for your summer fun. Be sure to share your do-gooders and then tune in again Friday, June 12th.
We're full in summer.
Gonna work on my tan. Get ready.
And your garden. I'm gonna work on my garden.
Yes, I'll just send you a picture of my garden. It's looking really good right now.
I can't wait to see.
All right, see you next time. Bye.